All right. Well, I think we're live, so I'm just going to start talking. So, welcome to Slay the Season Live. I'm Stacy Jordan with Red Slay Workshop, and I'm super excited tonight. It's 6 o'clock and in Texas, where I'm at. And if you're in the commercial Christmas or permanent lighting space, then you're definitely in the right place for this live tonight because we have Chris Rios from what company are we talking about today that you're with?
Permanent Christmas.
permanentchristmaslights.com.
Mhm.
Permanent, permanentchristmaslights.com. And so here at Slate the Season, we want to bring you, real operators, real conversations, strategy, talk about systems, margins, and all that stuff, how you execute it. And if you don't know me, I'm Stacy Jordan. I'm founder and CEO of Red Slate Workshop. And what Red Slate Workshop does is we help we help residential and commercial Christmas light installers get to that next level and level up and to learn how to work with larger projects, how to work with cities, shopping centers, places like that. We have trainings here in San Antonio, Texas, and we're having a few other trainings, other places this year. We'll talk about that later, but that's what we do. And before we bring Chris in, I want to introduce the man behind the scenes, making sure everything runs smoothly, Patrick Russell. He is my partner in our EVP at Red Sleigh Workshop. And in this industry, things move so fast. We have these huge installs, we have these tight timelines and, high stake things. And he's the one who like helps this to be the calm in my chaos with all of that going on, bringing his discipline right into the scene and his awareness. He helps me structure it and grow and helps, in all those ways. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Patrick. That's a couple of things about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Patrick Russell, Executive Vice President. So I like to sound fancy every once in a while. Um, and co-founder of Red Sleigh Workshop. And I know Stacy said that I bring the calm to the storm, but there's
I
times
said the
where
chaos this time.
the chaos. So we just had our first in-person 2-day training, and so it was fun. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of not a lot of chaos, but just last minute stuff. So it was a good time, a lot of stress, but we had a great time. A lot of installers got to come out and learn how to make that jump from residential to commercial, and everyone was super stoked about it. So we just got done doing that. So we're both a little, you know, maybe a brain fart here and there after getting through that last week, and then yeah, we had a live earlier today, and then we're blessed to have Chris Rios come on. We got to chat a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. It was not that long ago, but
Last week.
It was last
yeah,
week, I think.
I have no idea. So I don't even know what today is. I'm guessing it's Monday because you're not in Florida yet. So, but
Right.
um, but yeah, so that's all about me. Like I said, I've been in the Christmas industry for a couple of years now, and basically bring more business sense to this company than anything, the scheduling, logistics, stuff like that. Um, well, that's about it. So I'm going to throw it over to Chris, and he can tell you all about himself.
Sure. I'm Chris, CEO of permanentchristmaslights.com. I also own my own installation company, which is Ultrashine Outdoor Lights, both in Central Kansas and in Dallas Fort Worth. I've been in the Christmas light industry for going on to 11 or 12 years now. Got into permanent lights about 6.5 years ago, um, and just kind of I was doing it just kind of as an add-on to the Christmas lights to keep myself busy, but it's kind of taken over where it's kind of dominating for us all across the area. So we just finished a 6,000 linear foot install in Temple, Texas, and going back here in mid-April, early May to add on to that project down there, which will probably become the largest permanent lighting install in the country when it's said and done. They've already had 6,000 feet installed prior to me. So we'll be pushing around right around 15,000 linear feet in that project once it's all said and
Wow.
done. So
That's
that's
amazing. Yeah. So, with all that being said, Chris, you also are speaking at the TransWorld Christmas show and
yep.
featured in our Light speaker series, which is lighting. Oh my gosh,
To
lighting the
technology
wait. What does it
education.
stand for?
Lighting Institute Technology Education.
There we go. Lighting Institute Technology Education. And so he works directly with installers who are expanding beyond just seasonal revenue into year-round models with this permanent lighting. And it's a huge topic. It's a hot topic. Everyone wants to know which product to use. How do I use it? What's the best the best way to do it? How do I work with places like Tyler, Texas, and get these big installs? And that's why we brought you on. We want you to talk about that, and I'm really excited to have you here. So, Chris,
Sure.
welcome. And if people are
Thanks for having
coming
me.
in from Facebook, watching live on Facebook, please put your questions or comments into the Facebook uh, comments. Patrick will be there. Patrick will be there, hopefully, watching to respond to
Oh yeah,
them.
I'm watching. I got to check that stuff. Yeah, if you have any questions or comments, just post them in the comments, and I'll read them out. And then I also see we had Stacy Phelps hop on the Zoom. So Stacy, if you have any questions or anything, just jump on here and ask away.
You met Stacy on Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
She won the prize.
Yes.
Yes, her
It
and
was
her.
rigged. It was rigged for the ladies.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was at our in-person training. What are some of your thoughts on our training?
Oh, put her on
Oh,
the
it was
spot here.
fabulous.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really Cody and I both really enjoyed it a lot. We got a lot out of it, and yeah, we loved it.
Hey,
Loved it.
tell him to
There we go.
text me. He's supposed to text me so I can send him a
Oh
sign.
yeah. Yeah,
So
he was working over the weekend on some new lighting for his garage. So yeah, I'll tell him to text you.
okay, perfect. Side note, sorry, but
That's okay. We're good. All right. So, Stacey, welcome. If you have questions or you have any insight, jump in. We're happy to hear what you have to say. Chris Rios, he's with Permanent Christmas. Oh my gosh, I can't speak.
permanent.
PermanentChristmasLights.com.
That's my brain is not working right now. PermanentChristmasLights.com. There it
Yep.
is. And the first question I have for you, Chris, is why should people use permanent lighting? Why? What
Sure.
opportunities are there with that?
It's a year-round revenue stream. Sorry, my light just kind of shut off on me. It's a year-round revenue stream that can build into more residential. The customer will pay for. They'll decide I want to go with the permanent lighting so they can do everything. Well, years 2, 3, and beyond that, you now have the opportunity to go upsell them more items for their home. If they were on a limited budget for that first year, just a regular Christmas light install, and then we went to move them to permanent lights. Now we can go back and sell them the trees. We can sell them the yard decor, whatever it may be, more wreaths, more garland, because that budget's now opened up for those future years after that permanent lighting installation. So we keep them coming and able to add more product to their homes or commercial businesses at the same time. So yeah, it's definitely opened it up. Not only that, you can upsell on landscape lighting, outdoor audio, whatever you do have else in your business. It's just an add-on feature that they can now use every day of the year if they wanted. So
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. That sounds great. And a lot of times people are asking this question. The question is it saturated or are we still early enough to get in on this?
a little bit of both. I feel there's tons of people out there. Every day there's a new product. It seems like coming to the market. I see a new ad on Facebook for some new brand that's coming out. A lot of guys are going overseas to China, ordering their product, and then coming back, installing it for a little bit, and thinking they can market this and sell it as their own type of product. So, I mean, I feel that market is getting there, but I think time will show that a lot of these brands that people are just white labeling a brand or a line of lights they're getting from overseas just aren't going to last long term. Installer wise, I think there's still plenty of time to jump into this market. I mean, it's growing every day. We're adding residential jobs. We're doing quotes right now. I was actually reading on Facebook the other day, another installer, he's already installed 50 permanent lighting jobs this year already since
Wow.
January 1. So his crew's knocking out almost 2 a day. So, I mean, there's plenty of business out there for this. And like I said, it can definitely be an add-on service to what you're doing now. So
Okay, so I want to know the secret sauce from this guy. Okay, what has he been doing
I,
to close those deals?
we have a call later this week to find out.
We're gonna come
I'm
back
curious
on
as
and talk
well.
about it.
Yeah, I'm curious as well. So yeah, but yeah, there's, and there's so many different products out there that are great products that are name brand that we're seeing time and time again across the Facebook groups.
Mhm.
They've all proven themselves. Inception was one of the very first lines ever to come out 15 years, if not the very first line to come out 15 years ago. So they've they've proven themselves year in and year out. Minleon, same thing. They've been in the RGB game for, God, I don't even know how long they've been around. So I mean, the lines out there are fantastic, and just make sure you're getting yourself a quality vetted product when you're jumping into this. You don't want to deal with the hassle of having overseas returns or troubleshooting and stuff like that right away if you're getting in this
Yeah.
business. Even
Well,
even if
that's
lights are cheaper up front,
right.
but cheaper doesn't always work out for the best of us. So
Right. Well, that's
Especially,
something that a lot of people think is going to be the key to making the most money, the most profit from permanent Christmas lighting is just we're going to import it ourselves.
right.
What are the things that these installers don't know about doing that?
Um,
Those importers, the people aren't going to tell them because they want to get
sure.
the sale.
I
So,
mean, so many companies out there. I get. I'm sure you do guys do too. I get emails 4 or 5 or more times a week from somebody overseas saying, "Hey,
mhm.
I have these products. I can sell them to you." There's no reputation behind it. I mean, they'll tell you it's all made in the same factory as X brand, but you have no idea. I mean, as we all know, there's probably millions of factories over there in China right now making stuff. And like I said, I'm getting those emails all the time. I'll sell it to you for $3 a foot. Well, is it even really quality? Is it really tested? You don't know. I mean, they can throw a UL label on something over there, ship it to us, and hope for the best type of deal. So, I mean, and then a lot of times the quantities you're having to buy, it doesn't make sense for most people just to go direct. I think a lot of times you're just better off finding yourself that vetted system that's already created, already proven itself to eliminate the headache down the road that you're going to find. So,
Right.
yeah.
So if I'm a seasonal installer,
Uh-huh.
how would I add permanent lighting without hurting my Q4 revenue?
Um, I don't look at it as a hurting my revenue. I look at it as an add-on personally. At first, when I first started looking at it and having people ask me 6 years ago, I spent about a year researching different brands because I had the same mindset as a lot of people that, well, I
Mhm.
don't want to give up this yearly revenue that I'm getting every single year from this customer for a one-time install. And I've gotten to the point where I've started introducing service contracts with all my, and I won't say every customer does it, probably 80 to 85% of my customers that sign up with me and we install for, they purchase a service contract from us. And with that service contract, we may not be getting the $1,000 a year we were getting from them initially or more, but we're still getting annual return revenue that's coming in every single year to go out and do service work, check the system, make sure it's working, update firmware on the products. So you're not, I don't look at it as losing. I look at it as a way to upsell and make my life easier long term by doing the service contracts. Because most time on the service call I go out twice a year on my service contracts and inspect the product. We're out there maybe 15, 20 minutes of their property, you know. So I'm out there less than I am during Christmas light season, putting them up, taking them down, still making obviously great margins 99% of the time on by doing that. Um, so that's the way I look at it. So I don't feel like it hurts you. I think it helps you in the long run because now they're seeing you more often because of the service contracts. You can upsell them on other items that you offer, whether it be the landscape lighting, whether it be, hey, this house or this section here of your house would look great with a wreath, or we can put this yard decor out here to really make the yard pop out to go with the permanent lights we added to your roof. So
how
I
many,
feel, what's that?
quick question, how many customers do you have that went with permanent lights, but after 1 year they said, we miss the seasonal and actually you do both?
Um, I, I don't do any roof lines that have permanent lighting on them. I'd say where I'm at here in central Kansas, outward facing permanent lights are really big. Most of my customers love that look. They love the look of traditional lights, but with the color changing ability. Now, I still, the downward facing, which I really believe, I know Gemstone and a lot of those brands have been out for a long time with the downward facing, but I think Govee really pushed the downward facing look. So that's what everybody in a lot of places look for. And it's great for some people. Here where I'm at, it's just not as popular unless they're going out and getting themselves the DIY systems and making it work. So yeah, most of my customers aren't asking to have it put on. I have heard of a lot of people
Yeah.
that do, but my market, it's just not very common.
It's all outward facing.
Well, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
all. I'd say it's probably 80-20, maybe 70-30 outward to downward facing what I do. And, I give the customer the option. I show them, pull up my software that I use to design it and show them, hey, this is the two options it can look like. It's your choice. The price isn't going to change either way. Sometimes I wish it did because I really hate being underneath the soffit and screwing up versus screwing directly in. But,
Right.
it's I leave it up to my customers, and I'll tell them what I feel is going to look best in their home. Because if someone has a darker color home, this color saturations kind of diminish when you have the downward facing versus the outward facing. And I tell them
Right.
a lot of times what I'll do, I'll throw a package together. My top tier package when I'm offering permanent lighting includes landscape lighting, and I'll tell them, if you want that wash in your home, even though it's darker, I'm going to suggest you do an outward facing. Let's throw a couple up lights with landscape lights to illuminate the side of your home. We can throw color changing bulbs in there into the system. That way you have that color on your house, but you still have the look of lights, the color changing on your roof line.
Yeah. And then the permanentchristmaslights.com, what is that exactly? Like what do you guys do?
So what we are, I'm going to describe it kind of a buyer's group. So we're geared towards the more serious installers across the country. We're looking for the installers that are doing 2,000 feet or more a year. It's a monthly contract to get in with us to be able to. We've gone out and vetted several permanent lighting brands, and actually we're looking at bringing another one or two on here in the next, hopefully before TransWorld's our plan. We've been in a lot of conversations with a couple different brands. But what you do is you get in there and you now have the access to the best brands on the market without having to pay the territory or the franchise fees that some of these other brands are charging. You get your zip code. That's your zip code. You can buy more than one zip code if you want to kind of lock it out. But when you own that zip code, what it does is it keeps someone else in that zip code or multiple zip codes from being able to join the program and getting the same price you get. Our pricing, we're keeping it below what retail value is, what most people are able to buy it. And we're really trying to help those guys that are trying to become intentional with the permanent lighting market and their side, that side of the business.
So how many brands do you have now? I know you said you have a couple brands and then you're trying to get a couple more on there. So,
Yep.
so basically you don't have to go through all the dealer trainings or whatnot. Like you
Right.
get to sign up, I'm guessing go through a training with you and then pick your zip code. And once you got that zip code, if someone goes online and types in their zip code, then you get the lead. And then
Yes.
you have several brands to choose from.
Yep. So
Perfect.
we right now we have three brands in the system. Um, Inception, Minleon, and then Pixel Fusion is our third brand. Uh, it's almost fully launched. The lights are ready. We're waiting on the controller to be finalized with it. So that's going to be our third line. You've probably heard the Pixelfit bulbs, the color change in C9 bulbs that are retrofit. It's all
Yeah.
from that line there is what that is. But yeah, you come in, we're actually in the process of creating a training module within the system for you to, most people, like any training, it's the owners or general managers that are going these trainings, and then they're having to come
Right.
back and teach it. So our goal with our training module, we're going to use the school site for training. They can come back, they can have their techs watch the training on how to install the product itself. We're going to everybody that signed up so far, we're doing individual trainings with on the Inception and Minleon lines right now for whatever they want to do. A lot of people that are joined have been installing these products for years. So a lot of them are already trained. Most people are, just for the fact that you're not going to find someone joining our group most of the time that isn't out there installing. Because like I said, we're gearing it towards people that are installing over 2,000 feet a year is our goal. And it's not that we're trying to cut other people out, But the idea behind it is you need to, if you want to focus on this to make it worth your while for your territory fee, then that's about what you need to do to make it work for you and your business. So yeah, we have those 3 lines in right now, looking to add at least 1, if not 2 more before TransWorld possibly. But like I said, our goal is to make it where you have the best pricing on the in the country. So, like myself, I own all of Central Kansas. I own the Wichita market, and those are the areas that I'm marketing to and going after. My DFW location, we have a couple zip codes down there that we've kind of locked out. Now, that's not saying someone else can't come in there and install a product, but I mean, Patrick, I mean, it's not going to cut someone like you out that is not a member from coming in there and installing it. But what it does is it gives you that extra margin for some wiggle room if you need to negotiate on price a little bit. That with permanent lights and Christmas lights, I mean, it's you got your margins you want to stick to. Well, that's lowering your cost to purchase is increasing your margins right up front. And if you don't have to negotiate, then you're great. And you have that extra. But if you do, you have the wiggle room in there now to be able to lower your price a little bit to land at that job. So,
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and there's so many different options out there right now. So having that wiggle room just to, I mean, basically when you're out there, you're selling yourself. It's like anything. You're selling your
right.
company and your services, but there are people out there who are, oh, well, can I get a discount or whatever? So if you have the margins, that's nice. And then you said what was the price for the,
So your first territory or your first zip code is right now it's $150 a month is what we're charging. That's good through TransWorld. We're working a deal that it may go up a little bit. We haven't decided 100% yet. But yeah, for sure, right now through TransWorld or about the week or 2 after TransWorld, it's $150 a month for that first zip code. Now, every zip code after that, it's going to vary. And it's going to be based off of the average household income, what that is, so the number of owner occupied homes. I mean, there's a few deals that go into a metric that we've built for our licensees to be able to pick and choose. So I've seen some zip codes as low as $15 a month. I've seen some zip codes $125 a month. So I mean, it's all going to be based on is your area in that really affluent neighborhoods, or are you kind of just sitting back in rural Kansas where my zip codes really aren't that expensive every month. So
right. So if you get in before the price hike, do you keep that price or?
yep. Right now we have no plans of increasing that. I'm not going to say down the road. What our goal is, we're trying to be more than just this. We want to be able to offer other things with this packages when you come in. So we're looking at working some deals out with a couple other companies as well. We're trying to vet a couple of CRM companies. We're looking at marketing companies possibly down the road, just things to help our installers out and build value within the community. That we don't want it just to be, hey, we take your money, you order product, and we never talk to you again. We want to. Our goal is to help all of our installers to become better at business as a whole, and not just in. We don't want to look at ourselves as we're just a buyer's club type of deal.
Right.
So
That makes sense. Thank you for all that.
sure.
That's super helpful. When it comes to like an operator lens, like because we were trying to when we did our training this last week, we're trying to get them from just being installers to like actual operators of their business, operators of these larger projects. And so, in that under that lens, like what concerns would you have if you were an operator or an owner operator adding this to your business? Like how would you what kinds of things would you say like, hey, how would you, what kind of concerns come up?
I'd say the biggest concern with permanent lighting is there's so many brands out there. You need to do your research. That is the biggest thing. I mean, I've seen some brands that are great, and I've seen some brands that I wouldn't put on my worst enemy's home. I mean, so getting to know your product that you're going to install, whether it be just one line or, coming into permanentcrystallights.com and be able to offer multiple lines, get to know the product, because if you don't know all the rules and, you know, I don't want to say regulations, but the rules behind on how many feet you can run, things like that. There is a learning curve. It's not like just go out, cut some wire like we do for Christmas lights and throw them up on a
Right.
house. I mean, you kind of have to
Splice.
know your measurements because most lights are coming in like Inception and Minleon lines. They come in 25 foot. They come in 5 foot, 10 foot, 2 foot sections. So you kind of have to know how many of each I'm gonna have to use to put on this house. So it definitely takes a little bit extra work versus Christmas. Christmas, I'm sure most people are all right. I'm a guess I can take some rough measurements on a house. If I'm off 4 or 5 bulbs, 25 bulbs, I'm not out money. I'm not out a lot of money. It's not hurting. You're off 25 to bulbs and permanent lights. That starts eating your margins pretty quick because the pricing goes. It's way different. So, and then learning your margins is huge too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely way different. Christmas lights, most people are somewhere, 60, 70, 80% margins on installing that, where permanent lights, you're looking closer to 40 to 50% margins long term. And it definitely, the more you underestimate, the more it's going to hurt the pocketbook in the long run. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You walked right into my next question was at the margins. That's great. You answered that already.
yeah.
Patrick, do you want to share
Well,
something about your experience with that side of it?
well, yeah. I mean, 100% Christmas lights. Like you say, if measuring with Google Earth is awesome because you just say, okay, add 10%, and even if you're off, 20 feet, that
right,
it's whatever. But with permanent lights, man, I mean, just even you need to be there in person generally for me, because when you're looking at soffits or fascia boards, you need to see where, how far am I going to have to run the power to this first light? What's the condition of the exterior of their home?
right,
There's so many more questions than there are with just doing, Christmas general, the seasonal Christmas lights. So yeah, it can definitely run in. And then the other thing is, you get out there, if you don't do the site walk correctly, you don't make all the notes of all the stuff you're going to need. And if there's something wrong, you can tell the homeowner, hey, this needs to be fixed, rather than getting all your guys there, getting to the job and being like, oh man, no, they need, 40 feet, 60 feet of new fascia board before you can even install them because they're not going to,
right.
it's all
Yeah, that start when I started out, I was still just using Google Earth because that's what I was used to with Christmas lights. Show up at a job site and you find that rusted out soffit or fascia board that as soon as you screw through, it's cracking or nothing's holding. So yeah, it's definitely something that in-person quoting on permanent lighting is way better. Not only that, but being able to show the customer, it really opens their eyes up when you pull out your demo board and be like, this is what they can do, and let them play with the app. It's way different than, hey, I'm throwing Christmas lights on your house. Okay, cool.
right.
I know what Christmas lights look like, and I know how they turn on, they turn off. So, I mean, doing that in-person site visit is huge, especially trying to figure out, what they have going on. Is there even room for the track to fit certain areas? I mean, I tried to quote in a house one time that I just assumed they had soffits. Yeah, I was wrong, way wrong. They had no soffits. Just looking at Google Earth, I couldn't tell that. So, and they
Right.
wanted the downward facing. Well, I didn't have the ability to do the downward facing for them because there's nothing to attach it to.
Yeah, or sometimes you get soffits that are angled back towards the house. So
Yep.
they want the downward facing, but their soffits are going to have it shining, the first
Yeah.
foot
They
of their wall.
or no soffits at all. I've run into that too, where it's just you have your board sticking out underneath the roof, and yeah, then you
Right.
have to figure out, okay, what am I going to do to make this work? So,
Got to get creative.
yep.
So
Yeah, I've used the 1x2s and mounting them on myself, but that right there again, it eats into your profit margin because you didn't estimate that,
right.
in your estimate if you don't do that site visit.
Well, yeah, and then like you say, you take a demo kid out there and let them mess around because I mean, it's a, if they're used to paying for Christmas lights every year, it's generally 2.5 to 3 times more expensive
It
than
is.
their yearly. And one of my favorite things to tell them, they're like, that sticker shock. They're like, oh my, I pay you $800, and all of a sudden now it's 32, and you're like,
Right.
and you're like, well, just think about this. If we come out and we were to do the same thing that we do for Christmas, for Valentine's Day, for St. Patrick's Day, for Easter, 4th of July, I said honestly, it pays for itself within the first year.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard time that homeowners, they don't think about that. It's like, okay, we come out, we put these lights on your house for a month, and then we take them down and you don't see them for a year. But these other lights, they're up all year. And
Yeah.
so it's just depending on, which brand is the best for what they're looking for, the look they're looking for, and also um, for you installing. Because like you said, there are some that are I've done a couple different kinds of permanent lights, and there are some that I tell people to run and never go towards. And there's another
Absolutely.
one that I like to install. So it's just a little bit easier. And then I'm looking forward to going through your training
Yep.
so I can learn more about Inception and even some of the great products that we talked about last week that Minleon has coming out. So
Sure.
yeah, so
Yeah, it's definitely one of those deals that you'll find, because I'm one of those guys. I see a new product come out. I know I'm not going to install it, but a lot of times I'll order it just to mess with it. And I've seen some products out there that are super great. I mean, fun to play with, but I wouldn't install them on someone's house.
yeah,
Their app, they have cool app features, things like that. But me personally, I want a brand that's been around at least 4 or 5 years or longer, because that's when you start seeing those issues arise. And if you don't have that product that's been around for a while, you have no idea. Okay, am I
right.
going to run into troubles? Am I not going to run into troubles? There's that vetting process of that long term relationship and experience of being on homes or businesses. I mean, it really takes an effect on whether you want to push that product or even offer it.
Right.
Right. So, Chris, what's one myth about permanent lighting that you want to debunk?
Oh, one myth. Um,
But they're easy to install.
yeah, I mean that's probably the biggest one. I mean, especially to homeowners. I mean, they
Right.
think they can just go grab some with pull decal or a little sticker off the back and it's going to last forever because it's called permanent. I mean, that's obviously not the case. Um, I think a lot of installers think that, like you said, it's going to take away from their yearly revenue they're getting from Christmas lights. And whenever someone looks at it like that, I mean, I get it because I was there, but I think that's the biggest myth out there and I still hear it today. I mean, they refuse to put up permanent lights because why would I do it when it's going to cut into my margins down the road?
Right.
But you have to look at it as a business stance is, maybe they don't come back to you that next year, or you don't sell them that service contract, but you keep an email and drip campaign every year with them. They're going to come. There's a good chance that they'll come back because they know the service you've provided in the past, and all of a sudden they have that extra cash flow that they can spend a couple of extra 6, 7, 8, maybe even $1,000 with you to go throw some garland and wreaths up on their home. So, I mean, the revenue doesn't. You think it goes down at first, and it may for that first year after, but I hear from a lot of my customers now, and we went out to one this last year and just added some yard decor to their house because they just missed that whole Christmas aspect, but still love their lights. So
Yeah, that's a great point. A
Right.
lot of and I've heard a lot of the same thing. Oh, well, I want to keep them as a yearly customer, but if their budget is 800, 900, 1,000, even $1,200, and you say, okay, we can put these permanent lights on, and then next year we can wrap all your trees and we can do your
right,
driveway and we can put a big old wreath and do all this other stuff. So you get that one-time install, but then adding decor for their yard and say, you always, and then the best thing is when you come to install, you see all the other houses around. And if you do
yep,
these jobs for long enough, you know what the neighbors do. So you can be like, hey, Jim over there always wraps his trees. Well, let's do that. Throw some spritzers in there and, you know,
absolutely,
so be the new Joneses on the block. So
yep,
that's a great point.
yeah. I actually, in not only that, but now all of a sudden you have these permanent lights on someone's house at Christmas time. I don't know how many times I get calls from the neighbors just because, well, I can't let them outshine me because they have something different showing on their house every night, just to add it. So it definitely, it's a customer you wouldn't have had regular Christmas light season because they've always done their own, but now they're looking at the fact, well, I want to be able to do this and this and this with it. So yeah, it may hurt you because you have that handyman dad that has always done his own lights, but now he doesn't know how to do the permanent lights. And now it's, you know, that's a new customer that you gained because of that.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm going to jump into this. Patrick, if you want to talk about this. Whoops.
We'll see.
We'll see.
TransWorld. Yeehaw.
TransWorld Christmas Show.
Yep. We're going to be there.
I'll be
Chris
there.
Chris is going to be there. Everyone should be there. It's an awesome show to go to. We're doing a 1 day pre-show on the 25th. We're doing a intro to commercial Christmas. So I don't know if that's exactly what it's called. Um,
It's called Stop Leaving $100,000 on the Table.
it's a problem that we all have, leaving 100 grand on the table. So, um, but yeah, so we're doing our pre-show class on Wednesday, the 25th. And then we have it's $300 each attendee, but we also have the add-on to where you could add your ticket and the entire LITE series, which is 12 classes, which all those classes are generally $55 a piece before March 16th, I think. But after they go up like $10. So really, you're getting a lot for that amount of money. You get to go through all the different classes and go through our training. And then there's built-in time to go walk the trade show floor. There's breaks and stuff to go talk to the vendors that you want to go talk to. And then there's social events that um, are available afterwards as well. So Stacy can talk to you more because she is super into that kind of stuff. Me, it's just like, hey, we're gonna be there. Come hang out. Come learn some stuff, and then let's go grab a beer afterwards. And
Dragging him around, like, here, we're going here, we're going here.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm sure I'll have a schedule like 2 days before, so that I'll know what I'm doing. But
Well,
uh,
also with this, with our day before the pre-show that we're doing, the commercial training, I'm including something that's never been given before in history of TransWorld. It's a vendor
oh,
cheat sheet for the commercial Christmas industry, right? So which vendors that are there have the items that we need as installers coming into the business, right? And that's going to be something that people are going to want. And give me the cheat code. That's what I want, for sure. And also included with our class, if you were to buy the entire thing, the TransWorld show plus the LITE series for one price, you also get to see Chris and all these other people. So
Yep.
Michael Carey, Heather Lindervold, Tariq, Zeke. When is your class? There it is.
Saturday.
Friday.
Yep.
Friday, 3:15. Is that
Oh,
you?
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was Saturday for
I
some
thought it
reason.
was on Saturday.
Talking on Friday.
It says Friday. Hopefully it's right. I mean, we've changed it so many times.
Maybe I am Friday now. I could have sworn I was Saturday, but either way, we'll make it work.
Yeah, I have the image here somewhere too. I don't know where I put it. Let's see if I have it down here. No. Either way, you're on the schedule. So I have you here for Friday at
I'll
3:15.
be there. You might remind me
And
when I get
what
there
are you
now.
talking about at TransWorld?
Me,
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of just going deeper dive into the permanent lighting and talking about, follow up and how, you know, I guess, yeah, just a deeper dive in how to grow that permanent lighting side. Sometimes we get the estimates and people requesting them, and then they get that sticker shock and they ghost you. Different things on getting yourself a VA to help follow up, getting yourself something set up with a go high level system that does the drip campaigns. Yeah. All the people that either told me no in this past year during season, I have a campaign going with them right now with reaching out. Hey, now's the perfect time because we're not as slammed, and I can give you just a little bit better pricing this time of year versus in season. And just talking about the different products that are out there and basically how to figure out which brand you want to go with and kind of just going from that. I mean, the whole sales process that we follow that's helped us grow to where we are now. But
That's awesome.
yeah. So I'm totally looking forward to it. So I'm really glad that you're able to jump in and help our
absolutely.
installers to grow. I mean, the whole point is how do we add this? How do we grow? What separates these Christmas light installers from the hobbyists out there
Right.
trying it with their own lights? We want to
I
make
mean,
sure
I,
that we're teaching
I
them.
see it almost every day in the Facebook groups somewhere. Someone's
Mhm.
asking, well, what brand do I go with? And I usually tell them that that's not the way to ask. You don't ask somebody because somebody's already dead set into the brand that they want to install. You need to go out and do your research, get the product in your hand and mess with it, because otherwise it may not be a fit for you. The brands that use the metal track, you may suck at cutting the metal like you need to make your turns and everything else. I mean, it takes some work. I mean, the first time I did it, I was like, what the hell? This isn't as easy as the Inception line that make your couple straight cuts and you're good to go. So it definitely guys need to do their research and not just, yeah, you can ask, but before you decide, oh, I'm going to do it just because Joe Schmo told me this is the best brand out there, it's not the way to pick the line that you want to carry.
Yeah, talk about cutting into margins.
Yeah.
You cut a couple, 4 or 5 pieces of track wrong.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
you're hoping that you ordered enough, and
Yeah.
I've
But
definitely done that a couple times. But
yeah, I've done a couple of the metal track systems in the past, and yeah, it's definitely a training curve to learn how to do it, and how to make your relief cuts to be able just to bend the metal and things like that. That it's not something you learn in school, that's for sure. I mean, it's
no,
something you got
yeah,
to. Well, even me, just permanent lighting in general. I don't come from a construction background at all. I mean, I helped my dad do a few projects as a kid growing up, but angles, that was something it took me some work to figure out. Luckily, one my lead tech now, he was a math whiz, and when it comes to figuring angles out, he's got it down. So I just let him take care of it. But yeah, it definitely, you want to get yourself a product, no matter what brand it is, and play with it before you show up on someone's house thinking, "Oh, I got this." Yeah,
yeah,
because it's not that easy.
right. It looks so simple. You're like,
Oh,
oh, you just
absolutely.
90
Yeah.
degrees, and then 90 degrees, and then all of a
Yep.
sudden, like I will tell you, I, you know, I've done with cutting track, I've probably made every mistake in the book. I've either cut, because it goes a certain way,
Yep.
so I cut the wrong end,
Yep.
or oh man, like it's just so that's why the training's good, and that's why finding great installers is good. Like you say, your lead installer, he's a math whiz. There are people that I can sell it really well.
Yeah.
I can
Absolutely.
install it generally pretty well, but man, making those turns is a nightmare for me. So that's
Yeah.
why here, I'll just do all the straight parts and then you do all the corners and then we'll
I'll,
hang out, we'll meet
the
somewhere.
Inception. I'll throw all the track on. I'll let them do all the lids
Yeah,
because those are what really have to match up perfect.
right.
That's just I know my limitations.
I'm like,
So
man, can we just like 3D print some corner pieces so I can just do straight tracks and then just
right.
put a
Yep. No, I hear you. I hear it all the time from guys wanting to. What does that brand make a corner piece? No, but yeah, it's definitely something that takes some work, and you want to definitely get your hands on play with, because you don't want to be out there in front of a customer having a scrap piece of track or lid or track on it just because you don't
right.
know how to cut it properly.
Yeah, or when you go around a corner, the wire stretches or won't stretch as much, so all of a sudden, ugh, yeah,
Yep.
it's fun. It's fun. It's fun, people. It's what I'm telling you. It's a good
Right.
time.
It
But
is.
like you say, you take practice makes perfect. So
Right.
Yeah, you guys are really selling it here that people want to add this to their business. I
Well,
mean,
I mean, it that's it's not rocket science by any means.
um,
If you just actually put the work in to learn how to do it, you're great. But
I'm
it's
sure if
just
yeah, I'm sure if I did this a couple times a week,
right.
every
Yeah. I
I'd
mean,
be
you're not
decent
going
at
to
it.
find a guy that's had no construction experience out there building a house,
yeah.
day properly. So I mean, it definitely takes some work. It takes some dedication to learn your craft. I mean, as in any business there is, but yeah, it is well worth it. I feel long
Well,
term.
I appreciate you saying that because it really is when I mean, that a lot of guys come into this business of Christmas lights thinking they're going to make, you know, making their $500,000 a year like out the gate, and people
Right.
promise them things like that. And that's really just not how it is, right? It takes effort and time and education and practice and all of those things to really hone in your skills. And some people that I've talked to, they may start and they realize they don't really love doing that part of the business, right? So they want to hire someone
Sure.
else to do that for them. And that's okay too. It's just you have to be willing as an owner operator to like be willing to move forward and change and shift if that's what's going to happen. And I really
Right.
appreciate you bringing that up because it's not just something you can just, okay, I'm going to take one training class and I'm going to just, kill it. I mean, some
Sure.
people might, but it depends on you and your team, right? It
Yeah.
depends on who they have in their corner to help cut those corners. No, it's not funny.
It's 100. I mean, I was able to do it, but I'd make my cuts with my miter saw. Then I'd be up on a ladder with a grinder also because I didn't make it just perfect and trying to shave off
No,
here, a
thanks.
little here and there, just to. And yeah, it's
Well, and
definitely
it's
one of those that
yeah, it's
you
and
learn a
then
lot.
when you got your seasonal customers, you want to have, if they want to make the switch, if they really want to, it's not like you can be like, no, please, I want your money every year. So
Right.
if you know how to do it, you're still at least you're getting that job. But in the off season, a lot of, you get a lot of calls about permanent lights and it's like we don't have time, or if we do, it's going to be super expensive this time of year. Okay, well, just call me back in January. So then
Yep.
after you get take done down, if you mainly rely on lighting through the holidays and then after takedown, you're like, okay, well, that was awesome. If you could have another month or two filled up with permanent, I'm not saying a job every day. If you have
Sure.
three or four a week for 2 months, all of a sudden you're stretching that into March, and then you can go to TransWorld and
Yeah.
come hang out with us. But all of a sudden April, and you're starting to do ad spend to keep your name relevant, do some summer promos. 4th of July this year,
Yeah.
250th. So
Well,
um,
one thing we've kind of done, we have a lot of customers that are like, I really want permanent lights, but I don't know that I want the expense. And the ones that we really feel that truly want it and are willing to spend the money, and they're just kind of sitting there teetering back and forth, we offer that Pixelfit. That Pixelfit, throw it up there. They have control. It's not with an app, it's with a remote. But now they can kind of get an idea. Oh, so if this can do that, what can a true system do for me? And it makes it way easier upsell whenever the Pixel Fit costs you a little bit more than a true, C9 does. But now they have that ability to have a little bit of permanent, some movement, some color changing, and they can have fun with it. And
Okay,
a
so
lot
for
of
the people like me who have no idea what a pixel fit is,
so
can you
Pixel Fit, it's a
say
brand.
what
It's
that
a
is?
Pixel Fusion that's on there. It's a brand that Reinders is stocking now, and it is just a retrofit C9 bulb that goes into your regular C9 socket wire. You put it in, and you add each bulb into the system, and just use a remote. You can flip through all the holidays. You can flip through different patterns and moving or effects, and but you don't have to go out and buy a lot of this color changing RGB C9s they have to be on that string. Can't take them off. Well, this is just a retrofit bulb that plugs right into a regular C9 socket wire, and you program those bulbs on the house, and now it's color changing on the roof line.
So you're saying, say that we're already leasing all of these bulbs to a client that's regular C9 warm whites, and you already have it cut to fit the house, and you
Yep.
say, hey, let's upgrade you to this Pixel Fit color
Yep.
changing bulb for X amount of dollars more. You're not going to have to be charging them for all new light line or all new
Nope.
installation
Yep.
materials. It's
Okay.
just the bulb to
Just the
switch it
bulb,
out,
and you
and
have to
then
add their controller and power supply.
controller. Mhm.
Their controller actually is designed to reduce the uh, wattage going through the line because they are sensitive. So it reduces it, but yeah, it makes it just color changing. Like I said, you have a pretty simple remote that you can change the effects and the colors. They're preset in there, so they have several different color options in there. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's just super simple system to set up that Reinders
Okay.
carries, and
How many when do you have to cut off and get another controller with that? Like as far as do you know how many bulbs? I'm gonna
I
stump
want
you
to
now. This is just
I
stump
want
question.
to say it was 200 or more. I mean, it's a ways out there. So
Okay.
before you have to add, don't hold me to that because I don't have many homes that are that big. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a big number that's going to power for you. and be able to control and play with.
Well, that's really cool. So thank you for talking about that too,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I'm always interested in what's new. I know that for many years, we've been asking for that product to be on the market, and here it is. And it's
Yeah,
probably
that's
been out a
It
couple of years
says
now,
got
right?
power
I think
300.
it's just finished year 2 with it. I think is when they came out. So
Okay.
they've done some changes to it to make them better. Uh, Last year they did a few changes to just make them that much better and more reliable. But yeah, it's a great product to upsell to your customers, even if they don't want permanent lights. But there's a lot of people out there that want you to do Halloween lights for them and then come back and change them out. Now you have that ability just with the remote, flip it from Halloween to Christmas, and you're done. So, and
Yeah,
you don't even have to tell your customer if they're gonna, this is how I'm gonna do it. You can just go ahead and upsell them for both feeds if you wanted, and come out with the remote, change their lights, and walk away. So,
right. Yeah, I just looked on their website. It says it does up to 300
is it?
C9.
Oh,
Yeah.
there, we can hold you to the 200 then,
Yeah,
Chris.
I knew I was almost positive it was over 200, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And then I mean literally I'm not with Reinders, so I don't get their special
sure.
pricing, but it's about $175 for the controller and the power supply, which I'm sure if you're, one of their
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. Well, um, that's a product we offer in permanentchristmaslights.com. I couldn't even tell you what normal retail is for somebody that was a customer of theirs. But I mean, I want to say that the bulb itself was somewhere, I mean, it's more expensive than a regular C9 by, I bet you it's double. But like I said, have the ability to do quite a bit of things with
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it looks awesome. And so and even though it's a more expensive price, like you say, you can come in and say, "Hey, we'll put all your lights up, put these new bulbs in there," and all of a sudden you've got 3 months. You've
Yeah.
got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You've got
Yep.
3 months of it, and so it's going to be a little bit more, but
You can now do it for every holiday. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's got color combinations, and I think it's got solid colors like your main colors in there. So if you just wanted like a warm white today and then a red, white, and green the next day, you can flip it back and forth, and you just plug it right into your regular timer like you would. So whatever the last preset was, it's what's going to come on every
I
time.
think
So
that's cool. I think that's like a in between, right? Because
right,
people are worried
absolutely,
like, oh, we're going to lose our business for permanent lighting, and oh, we want color changing. Well, here's the in between answer,
yeah,
right? If
it's
someone's
a
not
great
ready
fit.
to make that jump, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, it makes it easier than a lot of the systems out there that are you have to buy these preset lines that are already this long, where you could just use your regular socket wire, or like you said, upgrade on someone's house that already has it. You don't even have
Mhm.
to worry about changing the socket line. You know exactly how
Right.
many bulbs you're going to need. You can just throw those in and go.
Right. I think that's great. So we're coming up along our hour. Well, we're coming up to the end of the hour.
That
I
was fast.
appreciate you coming so much.
Sure, absolutely.
Giving your insight into this industry. It's exciting to hear about the new items that are out and things that are coming out. And if you guys are watching on Facebook, thank you guys for watching. If you're watching the playback, just put your comments in there, and we'll get back with you about that too. And whether you're trying to do permanent lighting, commercial
We had a
Christmas.
special guest tonight.
Hmm?
Linda Wright was watching.
Linda Wright was watching.
Yeah. So
She should have came on.
she was watching on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's my mom. Hi, mom. I miss you. Be safe in California. Um, so what I was saying is that whether you're here with the permanent lighting, the commercial Christmas, or you're looking to get like multi-year contracts, like the opportunity is out there. It's real. People are buying it. People need it. Your clients need it. Your customers need it. And Chris, myself, and Patrick can't be in every city, in every state, all across the US at once. That's why Chris made this amazing program you can join to be able to do it right in your area and become, as Ashley from One Love Social says, be 5 Mile famous in your area, be the
Right,
permanent lighting 5 Mile famous person. Like, I want you all to be that, all the people
right,
watching,
absolutely.
and there's no reason why you can't. There's no reason why you can't. There's enough business for all of us. So let's go out and get it. And I say get those zip codes early, before they're
Right.
gone. Like, call,
Yep,
call Chris now, get a hold of him right now. Um,
absolutely.
what is the way that people can get a hold of you? What's the best way to get a hold of you,
So
Chris?
you can go to our website, permanentcrystallights.com. There's a contact form. I think my email and maybe even my phone number's on there. If you're at
You
TransWorld,
do
stop by.
that. Text him directly. Stalk
Yep.
him.
If you're at TransWorld, we have a booth as well. So swing by, visit. Myself, Vince Balsota, the owner of Inception, who actually owns permanentcrystallights.com. He'll be there. Another member of our group is also going to be there helping man the booth. So yeah, stop by, see us, or like I said, you can find me on Facebook as well. I'm in a lot of the Facebook communities, and just look me up on there and be glad to talk to you.
Yeah, TransWorld, there's going to be so many vendors, and Vince has some cool things coming out with his collective group, right? His
Yep.
Alpha
Yep.
Collective. That
Yep.
looks really amazing. I was looking at his website the other day, and I'm like, oh, gotta
Yeah,
talk to him at TransWorld.
we got several micro brands we're bringing into the Alpha Collective.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's one that's not even mentioned on there yet that I think is going to be really big for us. So, but yeah, there's big things to come. So
Yeah, well, that's great. I know that at Red Slate Workshop, we really believe in building companies that scale intentionally. Like, how do they scale intentionally? How do, make everything profitable, even though it can be chaotic and we're not sure how things work out, all the time. In the commercial space, it's never a one and done thing, right? You always want to make sure that you're continuing that relationship with your clients. And a lot of times it seems so simple with residential. They call up, there it is, you're done. It's just the house, you leave. But in the commercial space, the folks that we're trying to train and get in there, it's a whole different sale than a
right,
residential. And this seems like the same thing. The permanent lighting can be a whole different sale and a whole different contract. The maintenance, it becomes a year round. It just seems like such a great segue for them to get into be able to make more money for their companies. And
absolutely,
if they're willing
absolutely,
to learn, and willing to try and take that risk, jumping in and trying something new, we'll see the results. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this works out for everyone.
great.
Yep, we got a couple more people. George, the bearded elf's here. Kenton just hopped on. So
Hey guys.
but we've had 3 people from our training this weekend hop on and check stuff out. We had a lot of fun with them last week. And then
Yeah.
you can go to redslateworkshop.com, see everything else that we have coming up. Stacy makes sure all of our socials are relevant and active. So we're always doing fun stuff. She's always getting me to film all these weird videos for our social content. So we're on the what's it called? The TikTok,
The
Facebook,
TikTok. Look at our page shows it. Hold up.
LinkedIn. Yeah, we have another 2-day in-person training coming up the end of April.
Here's
Um,
the TikTok.
Yep, here's our TikTok. Oh, there's me dancing.
Here it is. You can't hear it.
And I may be there at your one in April. I'm still working the details out to come down and be with you guys. So
Yeah, we're
You need
looking
to be
forward to
there.
it.
yep.
You need to
Uh,
be there. Yeah.
so yeah, so come find us, redslateworkshop.com, Red Slate Workshop on all the social medias. We have a 15-minute consult, so you can book a time with Stacy and kind of see if, everything that we offer, and if we're a good fit and you're a good fit for us, then we can move forward with a 2-hour deep dive into your business and then kind of see how we can help you out. And if permanent lighting is something that you really want to get into, then we'll probably refer you over to Chris, so then he can give you more of the down low on that. So
Be glad to.
awesome.
I have to
Well,
update our website. The countdown is complete. I don't have it counting down to the next one.
final countdown.
It's complete. Gotta fix that.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris. We really appreciate you coming on here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Kind of telling us about permanentchristmaslighting.com or permanentchristmaslights.com.
Yep. Lights.
Yep. And
Lights.
kind of everything about you guys. And I think it's a
Sure.
great idea so that, my buddy's business has been doing permanent lights and like, oh, you're a dealership for this guy, this guy. So having the option to, get the wholesale pricing with multiple vendors is amazing. Um,
Yeah. Our goal is to make it where you're now the go-to installer. That's our goal is now when a customer says, well, I really like this style, that now you have the ability to say, I actually offer that as well. I can do this. So that was the whole idea behind permanentcrystallights.com, is not just to carry one brand, but be able to make our installers the go-to person to be able to offer all the styles that are out there. So
Yeah. Well,
All right.
it's
So thank
great.
you so much again. And Patrick, any last final words for our viewers?
Go check out permanentchristmaslights.com. If you have questions or if you're going to be at TransWorld, go to their booth, go to their training, go to their class, say hello, ask all the questions you have. That's what the class is for.
absolutely.
And then if you still have questions, go to their booth, find out what social events they're going to, just stalk them for 5 days and become their best friend. And they'll probably pay for you to just have your own territory so you'll stop calling them.
Oh,
So
don't hold Patrick to that.
I'm
We'll
just
send,
messing.
we'll send Patrick the bill for that one.
There
Yeah.
you go.
So awesome. Well, thanks, Chris. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks
All
for having
right.
me.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
good day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much, Chris, for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.